What's good? What's good? It's the champ, man. Man, I've been trying to get my recap in, but I didn't like it when I was in the car, and I failed twice at the crib on my laptop. So I don't know what's going on, but they don't want me to get this recap in. Recap. Keith Thurman. One time, Keith Thurman versus Brock Jarvis, man. It went down in Australia. That boy Keith Thurman, man, that boy rests well. Came back after a 3-year hiatus and took care of business over there in Australia, man. Now, we got to keep in mind, Jock Jarvis was just a fringe contender, you know what I mean? He wasn't a real like he wasn't real expected to do much because he got knocked out early in his career when he moved up in competition. Prolo knocked him out. So I figured coming into this fight, Keith Thurman would get a few rounds in. I figured he'd get 3 or 4, maybe 5, just to get the kinks out. But everything came so easy for him. He was ready mentally. He didn't take this guy lightly. He came in shape. And it was very impressive considering he'd been out so long, man. He looked good, bro. The speed, the timing was there. He didn't waste any punches. That was good, and he didn't take any punches. See, I knew he would win the fight, but my only concern was how he would win the fight. And he did everything he was supposed to do. He got a guy out of there in 3 rounds that wasn't supposed to be in there with him anyway. And that's the mark of a real champion. He showed separation. A lot of separation he showed. You feel me? And he also showed that there's levels to this. Keith Thurman is still one of those A fighters. He's just been, dealt a bad hand over the last few years trying to get healthy. He's been a little injury prone. But now, with this big impressive win, man, that put Keith's name right back at the top, you feel me, of the 154-pound division. And there's a lot of great champions out there that now Keith Thurman names resonates with. Can you imagine Virgil Ortiz and Keith one-time Thurman? Oh man, that right there, pay-per-view fight, headline, any stadium in America, bruh. Arena for sure. I won't say stadium, but I will say arena. And when you look at Keith Thurman's record, bruh, he only lost to the living legend Manny Pacquiao, and that was a split decision coming off a 2-year layoff. Keep that in mind. Coming off a 2-year layoff, he battled Manny Pacquiao down the stretch to the end and lost a split decision. If it wasn't for that split decision loss, Keith Thurman is still undefeated and one of the biggest names in the game today. You feel me? But now we can only think about what's next for Keith Thurman. Man, I would love for Keith to take about 2 weeks off and get back at it, right back in the training aspect of it. You feel me? May not be training for a fight, but training knowing that you getting ready for somebody big, because the Tim Tszyu fight looks good, but after that performance, Keith Thurman has options. He got options now. He can fight the guys that beat Costa Tszyu. I mean, not Costa Tszyu, but Tim Tszyu, forgive me. He can fight the guys that beat Tim Tszyu, if that fight don't materialize. And Tim Tszyu is still in a tough fight with, what's my man name? Joey Spence, who's a young, hungry fighter coming off his first loss. So Joey Spence is going to be in there trying to turn the tables on Tim Tszyu. And if Tim don't look as impressive as Keith Thurman did, does that fight, I know they've been clamoring for that fight for a long time, but after this performance, I think Keith might have elevated himself past the Tim Tszyu situation. You feel me? Because it didn't look like he lost nothing but time. That's what it looks like Keith Thurman lost, nothing but time. He's still firing on all cylinders. So, I don't know who, I know back in the day, he had a great trainer, Bengetti, and they had a father-son type of relationship when it came down to the gym. That was Keith's man, you know what I mean? He hasn't been able to replace him yet, and he probably never be able to replace him. But, you know, I think for these fighters that's coming up that Keith is going to have to get ready for, I think Keith's going to need somebody that truly knows the game, man. I would love to put my name in the hat just to come work with Keith, bro. You know what I mean? Just to put it under the microscope and just advise you from a training aspect, you know what I mean, the best way I can. If you need anything from me, Keith, you know I'm just a phone call away, man. I love to get in there and help you in any way I can, bro. You know it's all love over here. But I'm just want to congratulate you again. Clearwater, St. Pete, Tampa, we back. Keith Thurman back in the thick of things, bro. We looking forward. I would love to see Keith back by July. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's with a Tim Tszyu, but it could be with another noteworthy opponent, man. So there you have it. You've been listening to the live Jarvis tape, the recap of my boy, one-time Keith Thurman, devastating knockout win over Jock Brothers just past couple days in Australia. There you have it. Until the next time, stay tapped in. I'll talk to you then. Run over to YouTube, like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jarvis Tape. It's truly the most informative take in boxing. Just remember where you heard it first. Thank you, guys. Till the next time.